Coming to medicals. So there are three types of medicals. The first one is going to be a class one medical, which is like the highest type of medical, usually it's used for airline privileges. So how long is it valid for? In total, it's valid for 60 calendar months. What does this calendar mean? So for example, if you got your medical on 14th December 25, it is going to be valid for 5 years. But how? It's going to be valid till 31st December 2030. Easy? Okay. But the main thing that's here is it's valid for 60 calendar months, but the privileges you can exercise are only for 12 calendar months if you're under 40. After these 12 calendar months, the medical doesn't expire, but the privileges of class 1 expires and it becomes of class 3. Easy. If you're above 40, the medical itself is valid for 24 calendar months. The first 6 months, you can exercise the privileges of class 1 medical certificate, but after the 6 months, the privileges are going to change to class 3. It might sound a lot, but when you try to understand it, it's going to be really easy. Under 40, 60 calendar months, 12 months privileges, and the rest 48 months class 3. Over 40, 6 month privileges, and the rest 18 calendar months for class 3. Coming to class 2 medical, usually used for commercial pilot. They get paid for flying services. Okay, we know that. Class 2 medical certificate, the privilege. Okay, coming to class 2 medical certificate is usually used by commercial pilots. They get paid for flying services. Yeah, we know that. The privileges of class 2 are valid for 12 months, regardless of age. What does it mean? Even if you're under 40 or you're over 40, it doesn't matter. The privileges are going to be for 12 calendar months, and after those 12 calendar months, for 48 calendar months, and they're going to be of class 3. Easy. But the only thing is, if the medical expires, you cannot get paid for your services. Coming to class 3 medical, this is the medical that you are going to use. Why is it used for? Private pilots can fly for non-commercial privileges. Okay, like what? Like carrying your friends without getting compensated. The validity is 60 calendar months under 40 and 24 months over 40. The same. So now the thing comes when you get into a school, they're going to ask you to get a class 1 medical. Why? Because they want you to be fit. That's it. They want you to be perfect. It doesn't matter what medical you have because you are not going to be exercising any of the class 1 or class 2 privileges. So by the time you finish your training and by the time you get all your licenses, you're going to use one medical certificate that you're going to get in the beginning of it. Simple. But what if someone doesn't want a medical? What if someone cannot be qualified to get a medical? Then comes something known as a basic med. So what is a basic med? It is a legal document which allows a pilot to fly without even getting a medical certificate. Why would anyone want a basic med? So there are people, they fly for their leisure or they just want to fly like once in 6 months or like twice in maximum 6 months. Why would they spend so much money on medical certificates? So basic med, it allows you to fly without getting a medical certificate. But there are some regulations that you need to follow in order to get a basic med. What are those? You need to have a FAA medical after July 14th, 2006. You need to remember this medical should not have been revoked or suspended or withdrawn by the FAA. The other thing, you need to have valid government photo ID, like a valid US driver's license. It's gonna work. But there are some like rules you need to follow, even if you're flying with a basic med. What are those? The maximum passengers that you can carry are six, which means, including you as the pilot, there can only be seven occupants in the aircraft should not have a maximum takeoff weight of more than 12,500 pounds. The aircraft cannot go above 18,000 feet. Why? Because what is above 18,000 feet? It's class alpha, so you cannot operate in class alpha. Why? Because you need an instrument rating. If you correlate everything, it's going to be pretty easy for you. The maximum speed of the aircraft should not be more than 250 knots. Okay, simple. There are some more things that you need to know about basic med. How do you get a basic med? You need to do an online medical education course covering self-assessment, medical conditions, and risk mitigation. What does this mean? So you need to have comprehensive medical examination checklist done by a state licensed physician. So what are you gonna do? It's called CMEC, which is a Comprehensive Medical Examination Checklist. You're gonna go to a state licensed physician. Half of the checklist is gonna be done by you, and the other half is going to be done by the doctor. If he or she they think that you are fine and they're willing to issue you a basic med, you can fly without getting a medical certificate. Simple. But what if I have a disease or like a disability that is not letting me get a basic med or a medical certificate? What will I do then? I really want to fly. Then there's something known as SODA, Statement of Demonstrative Ability. What is this? It is a formal document demonstrated by the FAA to pilots who have medical conditions or limitations that might prevent them from meeting standard medical requirements for a medical certificate. But they still demonstrate the ability to safely operate an aircraft under specific conditions. So what this means is if anyone is like willing to know, there is a pilot in the US who doesn't have a hand and he flies with a hook. You can look about it and it's really fun. So if I have a disability that is not letting me fly, like for example, someone loses their thumb. When you fly, your thumb is like really important. If you lose your thumb and you're not getting a medical certificate, what can you do? You can apply for this SODA. It's basically gonna be a test. You're gonna go with a air prox. What is an air prox? It's a air surgeon who is all a doctor and as well as a pilot. You're gonna have to fly with them and demonstrate them that you can operate the aircraft without any issues, even if you have that disability. Easy. Temporary disqualification, basically your medical gets revoked for a period of time, and when you show them that you're fit to fly again, it's gonna be from the date they revoked it. So, for example, if you got your medical on 1st of December and they revoked your medical on the 14th, these 13 or 14 days, they're going to be added to your medical. Easy. Coming to category class type, it's okay. So basically, that was higher qualifications. The next video is going to be